The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 WGBC invites you to the talk of all the towns in East Mississippi and West Alabama.
You're listening to Meridian's three-time CMA nominees for Broadcast Personality of the Year. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Debbie.
Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Debbie, and it is Friday somehow now.
Good morning. It is Friday. We made it through an entire week, Scotty Ray.
So how does it feel after 12 years to be back at it in the saddle? Are you getting comfortable with it again?
I mean, talking doesn't bother me.
You just don't want to see yourself again.
I just don't like to see myself. Oh. But I don't mind talking.
Yeah.
I don't.
Every now and then you have to.
It feels like it did back then. Just conversation.
Jerome Lee, good morning. Glad to see you watching us. Glad to have you part of it. Alicia Fisher is up also. Causeyville joins us. Janice Bounds. How are y'all?
Good morning. Dorothy George.
And if you'll notice, the fireplace is running in the background today because, well, it's cold. It's 42, 43 where you are.
It's right really now. Toasty back there. It is. No. What is it right now? What's the temperature?
43-ish.
Are you serious?
Yeah, depending upon where you are.
I was going to say, the closer I got into the country, the colder it got. My car said 36 on the way in. It actually had the little freeze thing pop up.
Uh-oh. Let's see if I can get a current update, because it does.
Cold.
It does get cooler as you move in.
And I notice it's lighter every day for just a brief. Yeah, it's a little bit lighter every time I'm driving in.
Yeah.
And that's only in a 5-day period. And it's lighter later. Like, it's not pitch black at 5 o'clock anymore, which is nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
I don't do this time period well. This waking up, it's dark. Going to sleep, you get off work, it's dark. It's tough.
Yeah, I have to agree
ready.
with you.
I heard you earlier talk about you're ready for that the change in March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that seems so far off, doesn't it?
Not to me. Scotty Ray. March to me is like in a blink of an eye now. Do you remember when you were really young and it seemed like, say your birthday's coming up, and it was like an eternity to get to your birthday?
I do remember
and now
that.
It's like, 2 years passed, and you think it was like last year, and it was really 2 or 3 years ago?
You got a point.
Yeah.
Birthdays come way too quick now. When you're young, you're right. You really want them because you're going to get something you've been waiting for all year.
Are you feeling better?
Yes.
Did you get that shot?
I went to the doctor, got a shot, and I apologize. This week I have not been myself. I have been.
You were worrying me because you would just kind of give me that look like, and I was like, what am I doing? Am I doing something wrong? But you said I just have no brain cells clicking.
Yeah, it would during the course of the week, it would take me 8-10 seconds for something to register with me. It was not quick. I don't have anything contagious. They did give me a shot. Told me I should be better. I'm sure it started
with something viral, and then it just turned worse.
Last weekend I wasn't great. That's when it kind of started, and then as the week went on, and somebody mentioned to me about squinting at the TV screens, and I have been. My eyes are like tinder. Does that make sense?
Very sensitive.
Yeah, and so I've been staring at it like this to see things. So by Monday, I hope everything's back to normal, and I can be
good shots. What'd you get? Some steroids and Decadron?
Yeah, I didn't really ask a lot of questions. I said, just stick me.
Just please give me some shots.
I was begging.
That's what helps. And that cough, you've had a pretty good cough too.
Yeah, so it's supposed to cure all that up, and I should be back to normal again.
We need you back.
Oh boy, I just don't. I don't do well. I am not that person that gets sick and does well.
I don't
just
either.
Not me.
I don't either. And especially when you're working on computers and stuff. I think honestly sometimes, and I've worked jobs where, physical jobs, physical labor and stuff, and it's easier to me to be moving.
Yeah.
But if you have to sit in front of a computer sick, it is the hardest thing to me.
You're kind of
because you just want to take a nap.
Yeah.
You don't want to do anything. You just want to take a nap.
As we look at a few things that happened last night, we did have some gunfire in Meridian last night. Nothing major, nothing was hit, nothing was damaged, but nonetheless, we did have a shot fired, and this was going to be not right where that happened. I don't know what I just pushed there, Deb.
I don't either.
Yeah, that was a boo-boo. Let me go back over here and start fresh again. Wow. Here we go. Let's look at it this way. You have to be on the right screen to push the right button. So I'm not back to normal yet.
Yeah,
Here we go. This is right off 8th Street, if you dig into this, on right down in Davis Court. Here's 8th Street here. This is going to be just due south of there. Gunshots were reported there last night. Now, again, no one was injured and no one harmed, but it still happened nonetheless. If you live in that neighborhood, it's very concerning to you. Kind of scared to open your door at night, so to speak.
Well, yeah, because a lot of times people don't even notice their house has been hit, and
be the next day.
They don't notice it until the next day or sometime after, which is terrifying to know that you're in a home and gunfire is erupting outside, and you could potentially be, which it happens all the time, I guess.
Yeah.
I watched a video earlier. It's not here, but where somebody came up, rang on their doorbell, and had some money in his hand.
Okay.
They were in the house. They didn't answer the door. He walks down the steps and just shoots the house up. Have no clue.
So if they had opened the door,
That's what he was going to do, I guess. He walks down the steps, turns and looks at the house, and just shoots it up.
Do you know what state that was in?
I wish I did, but I don't.
But what happens in other states could happen here.
I think it was in New Orleans.
New Orleans?
Not the state of New Orleans, but the city.
Riding on the city of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Crime can happen anywhere, but things like that. If you don't recognize someone at night, don't answer the door.
No, or probably don't even stand near it at this point.
Yeah, we are not in a time where you let a stranger in the house like back in the old days. We don't know everything about this, but I got about the 5th text that I got this morning. I thought, well, let me Google around and see what's going on. There's a lot of upset folks due south of us in Wayne County. This would be the city of Waynesboro, that area there, to where there's been several deputies resign. Now, do I know why they resigned? Nope. I know that there has been a chief deputy moved up several positions that maybe somebody's not happy about. And then the sheriff was involved in an auto accident that he left the scene of. And deputies did go out and do an assessment of it, and there was not supposedly any drinking and driving involved in it. A third party, they had a special meeting last night in Wayne County, and the board is going to have a special counsel investigate the situation. And maybe we'll know a little bit more about it in a day or so.
The odd part about it is he was not on duty or anything like that. He was not making a call. He had a wreck.
3 or so in the morning?
Yeah. And but he called the sheriff of Jones County, right?
Yeah. And asked to be taken to the hospital.
Sheriff of Wayne County.
Wayne County.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of...
Yeah. So...
We'll let you know more when we know more.
Yeah. But I mean, they can drive their vehicles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just you have to explain when you're in an accident. Like Billy Solly not long ago called me and goes, hey, you ain't gonna believe this. I said, what? He said, I was going home yesterday, and he said, I got into an altercation. And he said, I had to sit there. Somebody bumped him from behind. Whether he's guilty or not, you have to sit there and wait for a team to come up. You have to be drug tested. That's just, you don't leave the scene without being tested. Whether you've had alcohol, they test you for everything. Mm-hmm. And coming from a safety background, that's just part of it. Billy stood
most
there.
Jobs, if you drive in most jobs, if you have an accident, you need to be
a company vehicle.
Yeah.
So we'll see what becomes of that one. That's a handful down there.
Sticky little situation, huh?
Yeah. When you're the high sheriff, you have a lot of people you have to answer to. You don't answer to a lot of people, but you answer to a lot of people. Does that make sense?
I guess the weird part is he personally called the sheriff of Jones County. But if anybody knows more details,
like if
we always like to hear
your spouse accidentally told you the real truth and nothing but the truth, tell us.
And so 3 deputies.
3 to 4 is what they're saying have resigned. And they have not said why. It's a lot of concern there in the county. We did have a boo-boo yesterday in Lauderdale County when it come to an accident. If you were out by Briarwood, where the golf course is, you top that hill, which is kind of dangerous right there on Briarwood Road. You turn off 39.
Yeah.
Here's the scene. A minivan kind of went off into the bushes there. It was a one-vehicle accident. We do not know at this time what caused it, but coming over that hill, it could have caused another one.
Yeah, and it could be there's a little drop-off right there, and you can't, if you go off of it, you can't really correct it.
Yeah, and that could have been the whole thing where they lost control.
It happened to me. So, I'm going to tell you what I need to stop doing.
What's that?
And I'm gonna end up having a wreck again. I haven't had a wreck in years, probably 20-something years, but The worst thing that I do, I stop at a light. You know, I hit 15 lights through downtown, and they don't seem to ever be in sync. Like you hit one, then you go to the next. You got to stop at that one. Every time the left turn light, if there's a car,
in the middle lane,
if I'm in the go straight, and somebody's in the left turn lane and the light turns, I take off every time. Every wreck I've ever had, -1, that's how I hit. I hit the back of a Mississippi power truck one time doing that on 20th Street, and I almost totaled my car. At a stop.
They're made of steel.
Because they were, yes. I mean, I had to crawl through the back seat to get out.
Ruh-roh.
And I was at a dead stop.
It can happen.
And then remember, when we were in radio, I did it one time on Poplar Springs, and the man jumped out and said, "What the?" He started cussing me, and I was like, I didn't mean to. I mean, it's not like I intentionally did that.
But you can catch a car out of the corner of your eye move, and you think if you're in La La Land, they're sitting there thinking about something else.
And I'm just like, go.
I've done it once. I have to admit that I have done it.
I do it all the time. Still do it.
So be careful out there is what we're saying. Scotty Ray and Debbie, good morning. Already 10 minutes after the hour. We'll be right back with more on the way.
If you're an outdoorsman, Garrett's Outfitters is a place to head to in Meridian. They have a complete line of gloves to keep your hands warm in these cold mornings, toboggans to block that wind, and America's favorite Carhartt, from the rugged overalls to slacks and shirts. Work boots and mud boots as well. Browse around the gun accessories and a complete line of just about any gun. Protect your investment, your guns, with one of the many Browning gun safes they have to choose from. For the outdoorsman in your family, it's Garrett's, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 invites you by to take a look at a brand new product they've got. Odes, ATVs, and UTVs. These side-by-sides range from 800 to 1,000 cc's, and they come with heat or air. Whether you're doing work around the farm or hunting, they've got the unit just for you to keep warm or cool, depending upon that Mississippi and Alabama day. Swing by for a test drive today at Freeman Tractor. See coleslaw, buttermilk, and don't forget you can meet their newest employee, Eggplant. That's Freeman Tractor, Highway 494.
Have you been in an auto accident? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Don't settle for less and know your rights. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Debbie as we begin this morning. So many of you up and Adam, Denny Bryan, good to see you there. And Boutwell Tanner is up.
Let's see, Laura Ferris. Good morning from Water Valley, Mississippi. I had a friend. Dixie was from Water Valley.
Yeah, nice little town.
Yeah.
Also from Newton, Mississippi, we welcome James Sullivan. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning to everybody.
Lots of talk of this. Do you like the governor of Mississippi? Our current one is what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people that will pause when you say that. And I've said a long time, one-term Tate.
I mean, I see a lot of people that don't like him, and I see people that do like him. I don't know. I'm neither here nor there, but a poll says that they don't like him. But okay, a poll. Who did the poll?
Well,
Who were the people?
Mississippi Today posted this. It was from a college Siena poll. College Siena. Mm-hmm. Siena College did the poll. Now, I don't know a lot about them. I hadn't investigated them. But I put a little truth into this from the word of mouth of when I'm walking around and you sit down at Freeman Tractor and everybody comes in and goes, Tate. And they get that one eye. Yeah. You start to pay attention. The people that have been around him, I'm hearing going, yeah, he's not really that nice of a guy.
Only 33% would support. Oh, okay. So they're saying 57% they want somebody else.
Yeah, 57. That's over that 51 marger there. And then the fact that you can't change this no matter what side of the issue you were on when it came to the state flag, whether you wanted to keep the flag or change the flag. He did say one thing and he lied about it. He said, I will let y'all vote on it. Now, he didn't do that in the end. 3 days later, he changed his whole outlook on that and went and voted to change it. And a lot of people go, if you will lie to me about that, you will lie to me about anything. And if you all remember when he was elected about paving the streets up to his house, his subdivision.
Somebody needs to pay my streets.
Yeah, run for governor.
So I'm going to sound really stupid, but I remember when they did the contest for the state flag. Did we get a new one?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Where have you been?
I don't know.
You missed all that, huh?
I did.
Wow.
Who won it?
It's got a magnolia on it, and if you remember, the big controversy was when they released the top 10, a mosquito made it into it, and it really made a laughing stock.
Yeah, I saw that.
Of
I
that.
saw when they were everybody was putting in their artwork. I
And
guess.
then
for
the
flag.
Mississippians didn't get to vote on that either. It was by a panel that chose it. So it was just handled wrong, I think, in the majority of everybody. And again, you could be, I want that state flag changed. That's okay. If you didn't want it changed, that's okay too. But it should have been left up to the people to decide like he promised. And that's where most people have their beef with him. And this could take him down. We have a Democrat now getting ready to run for governor, Presley. And we never know. I don't guess it's changed since Fordyce went in, has it? I believe it's been Republican since Fordyce.
Was it Democratic before that?
Yeah. That was about when the times of the Democratic and the Republican Party kind of changed positions, and you're like, huh?
Yeah. And what happens? A state can completely flip. I know Tennessee used to be 100% Democratic.
Yeah.
And then it flipped to Republican.
And the ideas of each party have almost swapped, so to speak.
It's such the line of what is taking place.
Yeah. And the best advice I can give anyone is to study the person that is running and vote for the person that you believe in. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be all Republican, all Democrat. Study the person that is running. Know what they're doing.
Yeah, you have to study the person and not what they say they're going to do, because they all say they're going to do something.
Study what they have voted on. New ones be very careful with, because there's no history to study there. You have to go off your gut there. And a lot of people will say that about the Meridian mayor there. They went off gut, and they go,
Who is our mayor?
Quit picking with me.
Where is he?
A lot of people ask that. I hear that
I just
a
haven't
lot.
seen him a lot.
I'll go out to Freeman Tractor, and they'll go, where's Jimmy? Where's that police chief?
We don't know.
We're waiting for an interview every day.
Yeah.
We'll throw the lights, camera, and
I'll
do
tell you
that.
somebody that's really making a splash is Sarah Huckabee.
Yes, she is.
As governor of Arkansas.
I like her.
I mean, she's
I'm going to tell
taking
you
action.
something about that. If y'all remember when she was the spokesperson for the White House, she took what, I don't know that I could have handled the criticism. It is unthought of to talk about a lady's weight, number one. But they went, Debbie, if you remember, they called her ugly names, restaurants, that's not the American way.
I remember that.
You just don't
touch
do
a woman's
that.
weight.
You know, she was
Why?
maybe she was a little over, but did it matter? She was doing her job.
Was she unhealthy?
No.
Overweight?
She always had a set of pretty pearls on.
Yeah.
But that was just like the press went somewhere they had never been in American history, and I don't think you can come back after you do that. I really don't. Once the press takes, and I call that dirty press.
Oh yeah.
You don't. And I'm one of those also, whether you agreed with someone when they pass away, let them rest in peace. Don't attack them when they're dead and say ugly things an hour after they're in the grave. Just let it die, let it settle, and things will come out. You don't have to do it that same day.
Do you ever wonder back when we only had like Walter Cronkite and, we just had like Peter Jennings and all those guys. Everybody watched the exact same news.
Yeah.
And that was what we
You
did.
took it.
We didn't have
those
other
guys
sources to find out if it was truth, not truth. And I took it for its word back in the day.
We had so many people come along. It's important to start giving their opinions instead of what the actual news was.
Right.
And that has changed America big time as to what's going on in the news. And I try very, very right down the middle to keep it to what it is. When I get a story of this is what happened, and then you decide on the other end of how you want to interpret it and take it. There's a lot of reasons. No time to.
And back then you didn't hear. So a lot of times we'll say, "Well, I don't remember stuff like that happening back when it probably did." But we only watched X amount of news back then.
Right.
And the newspaper couldn't carry every single story. So I'm sure that a lot was taking place that we never knew about. And, we just believed what we saw, or I did anyway.
Yeah.
If they said it, it was fact. Are you having issues over there?
Well, I'm making sure we don't have an issue there. So I got
we're having issues on TV, maybe.
Yeah. That somebody said they could hear some background from Fox News, from the Fox network still in there.
So yeah, you're going to let them know. While you're doing that, I'm going to say good morning to. Is it Mattia Smith? That's a neat name from Scuba. Kathy Rideout. Good morning to you. Margie Lancaster. Good morning. Let's see. Who else? Clarence Westbrook. He's watching this morning. And Robin Miller. Good morning, Scotty Ray and Debbie. Barbara Bush always wore the same set of pearls. She did. I love Barbara Bush. Somebody said it sounds good on YouTube, Scotty Ray.
Okay, it just went off.
Somebody said it's cleared up now.
Yeah, they got the problem. We appreciate everybody.
It fixed. Oh, you got to love getting that. Oh, my daughter said good morning from Nashville.
That is great, to where we can, if there's an issue, that somebody can let you know immediately what's going on there.
It is.
I was a little slow there. I got the text. I heard it. So we'll work on being faster on all that.
They said it's clear on Fox TV now.
So can you do the old Walter Concrete Walter Concrete? That was how they made fun of him on Saturday Night Live. Of how he closed out. Can you do that big closing? And that's the way it was.
Yes, and that's the way it was.
I liked him.
I can't do it, but I do know that. You heard it, you saw it, you believed it. And that's the way it was.
Am I right about it was somewhere around the OJ fiasco to where things changed after that chase after CNN? To where everybody started giving opinions then instead of it being just straight news?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I watched the entire OJ from the time he was doing that slow chase. The entire trial. Yeah, and I kept thinking, it ruined my vacation one year.
They could pull in front of him and stop him. Why don't they do that? That's all that went through my head.
It was actually, I think, was it before that when the Wolf Blitzer and the war, and they were under siege, and
you had Geraldo over there also going.
They were. I think that's when news really blew up.
The Gulf War.
The Gulf War. And
first time we'd seen it live.
And it was live. And that was the first time they were reporting live from there.
Yeah, so. No longer did they directly tell you what you wanted to. You could see what was going on. Right. And that was a difference with that.
It was. Because in the old days, they'd have to can it up and send it in. And
there's a lot of good and a lot of bad that's come out of it as to how it's presented to you.
Yeah.
Okay, we appreciate everybody telling us this back clear there on Fox. Appreciate that. Jackson, Mississippi, we don't know the details. All that we know, Debbie, is they found someone shot lying in the street in Jackson, Mississippi. That's all we know at this point.
Oh.
So sad. And I'm scared to even ask how many murders it's been in January so far. We ended the year in Jackson at 133, down from 153 the year before. And although it was down, it was still high among towns of that size.
Yeah.
So it not really any better than it was in Jackson, Mississippi.
Speaking of crime in Mississippi, I was telling Scotty Ray yesterday about this murder that the trial's taking place right now in what county? Quitman County.
Quitman County.
And in Marks, Mississippi.
Yes.
In the Delta.
Teresa is covered Black Horse.
I'm telling you, that is the most intriguing murder, and it's not getting a lot of publicity, and it really would be the one that is nationwide, except for the fact that it's hard to get to that area, and so nobody's really traveling.
What is interesting about this is the family reported the couple missing, and the cops just went, okay. And then they kept pushing it. Then the family had to do their own investigation.
Found bloody clothes, found all this stuff, turned it in to the sheriff's department.
Guess what happened?
They lost it. So the only way that they got an FBI agent that took over the case and started really collecting, started getting evidence. Found out they had been murdered, shot over. It was a drug thing, but they were shot, dismembered, and about 4 or 5 people were involved, and they confessed, all with the exact same story, how they did it. What they did, and the reason they the reason they shot them, they had been buying drugs from them, but they didn't buy drugs for a week, and their drugs were missing, and they thought that they were the ones that stole it. So they tricked
Attacked
them.
them.
Yeah, they tricked them into going to Taco Bell, and got them to Taco Bell, and then said, "We'll drive you home." They had a car set up, acting like it was broke down on the road. Got them out, shot them.
So we'll find out what happens
Yeah.
at the trial this week. It is very
It's
interesting.
crazy.
So
Yeah.
if somebody tells you, it doesn't hurt when you've got somebody missing to take that extra step yourself and try to start looking.
Yeah, the family just wouldn't give up. They said, no, this is not them. They are, something's wrong. So they went on their own search and found it.
Alcorn County, Mississippi, and this is all too often. It's happened here in Lauderdale County several times. 3 correctional officers have been arrested. Why? Contraband. And it all starts with someone that works for the jail getting comfortable around an inmate, and then they get something on them, and then they have to start bringing them product. And that's how it goes. 3 of them have been arrested in connection with bringing contraband into a jail.
And then they have little affairs.
That happens a lot too.
Remember the one in Alabama? Which,
Yeah.
ooh,
Boy.
were they both? Didn't they both kill themselves?
No,
She killed her.
Yeah, he's he's back in jail.
Oh, he's back. I thought he died. He did.
No, she did. She shot herself
Yeah,
when
she
the
shot
car
herself.
flipped.
Okay.
She took her own life, but he's back in jail now.
And she retired or something. She was about to retire.
Yeah, she had like weeks.
Yeah.
She lost all of her vacation. She was fired, and I guess that's why in the end she took her own life. Pascagoula, Highway 90, we all know that runs right through Biloxi there. A motorcycle and a car were involved in an accident. Both of them died on the motorcycle and the bicycle. Condolences to their family members. That's those types of wrecks are just bad.
Motorcycle, yeah.
I'd always wear those helmets.
I'm terrified of a motorcycle.
Yeah, I've never ridden them. I have good
I
friends
don't
that
ever.
love them.
Yeah, I mean, Mike loves a motorcycle. I do not like being on. I like riding a bike, not too fast.
I've got to put my eye specs on for this name here. Because I brought this up 3 or 4 times. We have a lot of folks from this area of Kipper County over Philadelphia that know the area of Macon, Mississippi very well. Not long ago, there was a body found in an abandoned house. It was in the middle of nowhere. The cops were called. They went in. There was a body there. And they didn't know who it was, and they sent it off for an autopsy. And it's been well over a month and a half, could be 2 months. But they have finally identified the person, and the deceased person is named as Tadrian Shaw of Macon. He's been identified. I'm sure family members are at rest now, at least knowing that that's where he is.
Reported missing in October.
Yeah, that's been more than...
Wow. Yeah.
So the mystery there in Macon, Mississippi, if you were keeping up with that. Also, the teenager still missing from Louisville. He's about 19 years old. I had someone here in Meridian text me and said, hey, that's my first cousin. And they have not been able to find him either. He's been up missing for quite some
What's his
time
name?
now. You asked me the hard question. I knew it yesterday.
It's Montovius
Goss.
I'm probably saying that name wrong. Montevious Goss.
Hadn't been seen since last Wednesday.
He's 16.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we hope that ends well, that just maybe hanging out with a couple of friends. That's
You and
what we
those
hope.
glasses take me over the edge every day.
Does it look bad?
No, it's just that I know the struggle, Scotty Ray.
Because if I leave them on, then I can't see. To read, I can see very well, but then I have to do the old look over the top.
Yeah.
So I need the glasses that have all of the...
Yeah.
I'm getting there. I got to have my eye surgery really bad.
Somebody said they like those gas logs.
Let me tell you what, they are warm.
They are. It is warm.
Like it a whole lot.
It's wood burning. No.
Debbie,
What is that?
Debbie hauls up. Actually, I've got my gas on the other side of the room. Sandra set me up over there. And then the room, and we may change the way this room is one day, but it was all electric back here, so I stuck an electric one back here for the time being.
I'm surprised you don't have your deer head. You've got them all over.
I couldn't get it adjusted just
Put
right.
them right back there. My little grandson, who is 16 months old, came up here yesterday for just a minute, and he saw those deer. And I don't know that he's ever seen a deer hanging on.
Right.
And he was going, banana. He was calling them bananas. That's his only words.
Banana.
Yeah.
Scotty Ray and Debbie, we'll be right back. Y'all don't rush off. We got some more interesting stories to tell you this morning.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
The Square Peg Mini Mall, located across from the Neshoba County Co-op in Philadelphia, is a family-owned business that promises to treat you like family. The Square Peg Mini Mall has been in business for over 10 years, and they have over 30 vendors inside, with a rotating inventory to fit that something special that you're looking for. The inventory constantly is updating, and there's always a chance for a surprise when you step inside. Come visit the Square Peg Mini Mall, located at 335 West Main Street, where you'll bump into a friend, and, well, we'll treat you like family. If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel.
And welcome back to Scotty Ray and Debbie as we begin your morning. Somebody mentioned Dr. John Whitaker is going to run for governor. The last I had seen, he was thinking about it. He may have come out, and I missed that.
Really? Somebody said, good morning from Clark County. And I know. I had a friend text me and said, good morning from Zero. And from Newton County.
Yesterday, as a matter of fact. A lot more than people of Clark County are so nice.
They've got some good little restaurants down there in
Yes,
Quitman
they do.
now. Mm-hmm. I like to go camping down in that area. Clarko. And what's the name of the...
Jay's Front Yard.
Jay's Front Yard. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. No.
Don't act like he ain't
No, but
done
he
that.
did text me one day. Jay's Taxidermy.
Yeah.
No. What is the other one I go to?
You got me
I love
there.
camping.
She's a camper.
I got the cutest camper in the world.
Go for it, girl.
It's little. You can't have too many people, and that's the way I want it.
Not enough room, can't take you. I don't know about this, and this is something that in one part of me goes, well, yes, and then the other part of me goes, no, I don't think I agree with this. In an attempt, it's a Mississippi bill, and you know that little song that was introduced on TV years ago with of the cartoon, I'm just a bill, maybe one day. This is a bill that's been proposed in Mississippi that would limit you from videoing police officers. You would have to be at least 15 feet away from them. You would have to have their permission to video them. I don't know if that will fly. Now, on the other hand, I see that sometimes people manipulate videos and they take just part of a video out and play that to make someone look guilty. I don't agree with that. But stopping people from videoing altogether, I don't know how you can handle that.
I have to say sometimes it looks to be a hindrance.
Yeah.
And sometimes it looks to help
So
figure out what's really going on. But as far as that's concerned, I think it should be against the law to video something that is taking place, like somebody hurt, and you're videoing and not helping. Just like if you are driving down the interstate and somebody wrecks, isn't it the law that you're supposed to
I think there is
stop
something.
and call or do something, or you can't just...
I have seen so many videos where somebody is at that moment. Well, if you'll remember
They're not helping, they're just videoing.
The ex-police chief of, I think it was New Orleans, is where that happened, where he was a private security guard. He was shot a couple times, and the guy that did it videoed him dying, and he was just protecting somebody's security that night for a pawn shop. I think that was
in D.C.
Was it D.C.?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember that.
But that was sad.
They're just videoing.
The people are just constant. No one's stopping to lend a hand. No. You see it in New York a lot where people are knocked down, hurt, and people just stand back and video it, do nothing. Do you remember the 3 security guards that stood inside a store and filmed an elderly lady, and I think it was New York, being beat up on the sidewalk, and they'd done nothing to help her? They ended up losing their job over that.
Well, just recently I watched the Nepal plane crash, and there's some people helping to try to get the people out. And then you've got people that just That's all they're there for, is the video.
But I don't think the answer is banning people from filming the police. I don't know what the answer is. There's good and bad on that.
If you're at a distance and you're filming it,
and not hindering the police,
and
stopping them from doing their job.
I think that it should be against the law to put just parts of it out.
Agreed. Put the whole video
in the
because
if you just catch one little segment, who knows?
If you go
what
back,
happened before happened after.
The Mississippi State Trooper. They got videotaped where it looked like he was beating up on somebody when he was truly had 4 people against him, or he was 3, and he had to handle the situation. That's got to be a bad feeling.
Look, I wouldn't want to be a police officer. I don't know how they do it.
I don't either. I respect y'all. Salute. Let's go back and take a look at this moment in history. It was 1930 that you'd get to know this guy probably more from a cartoon than what he really was. His name became famous in all of the Buzz Lightyear movies as Buzz was born. Buzz Aldrin,
I remember
1930.
From being an astronaut.
But that next generation did not.
The next generation didn't. But yeah.
And then Tim Allen didn't get to be Buzz again. And then we were all upset over that. 1896, this old boy was born. I got it out of sequence there. But anybody remember this guy? Oh, God?
He was born in 1896.
He was. George Burns. Good night, Gracie.
I loved him. Loved him.
One of those love affairs that went forever and ever. He was that cigar. It just was not George Burns without it. He'd probably be thrown off now.
And he was how old when he passed? He was pretty old.
A little over 100, wasn't he? I had the big hit song, I Wish I Was 18 Again.
You know, my grandfather was born in 1899.
Wow. Mine was 95. 1895, my grandfather.
Oh, really? And
never got to meet him.
Oh, you didn't?
Never did.
I was going to say, it's odd because I loved my grandparents, and they didn't die until they were mid-80s. And so I know somebody from the 1800s, know and loved somebody from the 1800s, 1900s, 2000s. That's kind of crazy.
It is. Roy said if you ever go along, and I have seen people do this, stop and help an officer if they're having trouble getting someone under control.
He was 103 years old.
Wow. Yeah. George Burns. 1965, the Grundy County auction, many others. The little girl, you'd know him from that. John Michael Montgomery was born on this day in 1965. Doesn't seem that 65 should be that long ago, but boy, the years are clicking, aren't they?
Yeah. What is he doing now?
He's still out there singing.
Is he?
Yeah. And of course,
I just really don't keep up with country music anymore. It just changed so much.
I know. Everybody
stuff.
feels that way.
Yeah.
And then you've got his brother, Eddie Montgomery of Montgomery Gentry, facing the microphone by himself. Now, can you believe that T. Roy is gone?
No.
Troy. You were aware of it, don't you?
Yeah, I was.
He died.
Did I have that look like I didn't know?
Yeah.
I forgot, but now that you said it, I do.
Helicopter. You drove them around. You took care of them while they were here in Meridian. And just like that. You never know when your next breath will be,
They were
folks.
the ones that made me drive around and try to find the parts and pieces to
a
beer funnel. Right?
Yes.
Wasn't that them?
They lived their songs. Let us say that.
Yeah. They did.
Great bunch of guys.
Very nice guys.
Simple, easy to work with. Stacey Dash, who did work for Fox News for a little while, has a birthday today, 1967 she was born. She was in that movie also, Legally Blonde.
Does she look like that? And she was born in 1967.
Yeah, that's kind of, may have had some work done.
Maybe not. She might just be genetically blessed.
Maybe so.
The Ghost and Miss. Oh.
Yeah. Was this a movie, y'all, or what?
How many times did you watch it? 1,000,000 times.
Yes.
I did too.
This is clean, innocent, great movie. If you have never watched this, rent it. The Ghost and Mr. Chicken.
And it was in Technicolor.
Don Knotts played that part. And I almost feel like it was a spinoff. You remember when him and Andy went in the house and had the Moonshiners? Mm-hmm. I think it was a spinoff of that episode that they made this show.
Don Knotts he always did some of those great movies.
He did.
Wasn't there a lot of Mr. Chicken movies?
I think they did try to do several there.
Yeah.
He was good at it. 1985, relatively to me a newcomer to country music. And if you were to put me in a lineup, I couldn't name not one there song he does, but
I have no clue who he is.
He does some. His name is Brantley Gilbert. It's not my kind of country. It's maybe yours.
When did he become famous?
After we got out,
Okay, that's why.
somewhere over the last decade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you believe we've been gone a decade?
Yeah, over a decade's got it right.
Hush.
Knocking on
12 years.
12 years, yeah.
1973 would be the first time that Jerry Lee played it. It was tonight. He would go to Nashville and he'd be on the Grand Ole Opry and he would play the Grand Ole Opry tonight. 1973 was the year of that.
So that was the first time?
Yeah. To play the
Oh,
Opry.
what a talent.
That man had it.
Yeah.
And his house is already up for sale if you want to move in it.
Real quick, before you move to the next one, I don't know why the algorithm on my phone has me watching so many Elvis videos from the
'Cause you
50s.
typed in.
I guess I typed it in to research it. But I've been watching all of the, like, Milton Berle and, Lawrence Welk videos when Elvis first hit the scene. And, when he was, they started just filming him from the waist up because he was so
He
controversial.
moved too much.
He was, yeah. But Milton Berle, I don't think that they blocked him. He let him do the whole thing on there. And he actually tried to dance like him. It was pretty cute. But Elvis had some moves.
He did.
When he would do that little thing where he'd go up on his toes and go back, and the iconic move where they had it, there was always statues of it.
Yeah.
And that, with the gold lame suit.
Elvis he broke so many, and it is written somewhere about his voice. He could go the lowest and the highest of any one. It's
so
just,
talented.
ooh, it is. Someone mentioned the shakiest gun in the West. If you ever remember seeing
Yes, that was it.
Barney in that, you can't help but name call Don Knotts Barney. No matter where you go,
It was the shakiest gun in the. He got a lot of good movies.
movies.
And we were young back then. They were just good. Like the ghost thing was. Those were some good movies back then.
There were.
I don't know if they'd be good if I watched them now.
1985, we would see Alabama, they were what the face of country music was. It was a new look for country music. Eddie Rabbitt was out there. But these guys really owned country music from about 81 as a group. We're talking Alabama. They were number one today, or they released it with There's No Way.
Mm-hmm. Boy, what a success they were.
They were, and liked them a whole lot. They were just down-home guys.
Yeah.
The first time, though, it scared a lot of people in country because they danced. You weren't supposed to move in country music. Have a little life to you, and they
what
did.
What kind of dancing was that?
They'd jump up and down. They had a little bit of longer hair than most.
Yeah. Could you imagine dancing to that music now?
Well, I'm not a dancer to begin with, but
that's about all you would do.
Dancing, shagging.
But I remember when they became huge.
They were.
Yeah.
Ooh. Let's see, 1989. I never got this, but I guess with the success of Murder, She Wrote, he was the cop in that. They gave him his own TV show. You would know him from the dad of Happy Days, but he got his own TV show today, and it began. The Father Dowling Mysteries premiered. And believe it or not, it was a hit. It lasted for several years.
I used to watch that. I couldn't really remember much about it, but I did watch it.
It was just me and a preacher having time to go solve mysteries. It was like, well,
sounds good.
It's kind of like
who sits around and thinks of this?
Dr.
A preacher, and he's going to solve mysteries, and he's going to have this really cute nun. And who is, I can't remember what her
I don't know her name. But there was Monk. You remember him, the TV show Monk? The guy that was on Wings? He went on to have
yeah.
And then there was Marcus Welby, who also was a doctor but solved crime.
Marcus Welby.
There's a lot of those. You just make you. 1993. Dylan Ray wasn't even born yet, and we would lose a great today. She was one of the best there ever was. That hit the film and actress.
She was 63 when she died.
Yeah,
she's so gorgeous.
She was, and of course, she had that stroke later on in life that caused that jittery sound in her voice. But bless her heart, she was liked by
Catherine.
me. Was it? It may have been.
It was Katharine Hepburn.
Oh, okay. Oh, whoops. 2008, it would be a movie that I didn't like it the first time I watched it. I watched the first episode and went, I don't like that. It would take my son 3 years to convince me to watch it again. And then I watched the next episode, and it was all over. I was hooked. I was like, oh, my gosh.
Let me just tell you,
Walter
everybody would say, no, you really need to watch it. Well, so I tried to watch it. I watched like 1 or 2 episodes, broke my leg, was down for the count for months. So I thought, well, I had to run out of everything to watch, so that's what I decided. I started watching it. First 2 or 3 episodes, you're right. It was just,
yeah.
Then I was hooked. It's how many, so it's 1 hour long, and there's like 50 of them or 45.
Something like that.
I watched it in a few days. I would just, you know how Netflix goes, it just rolls to the next one.
But
I just kept
the
watching.
general synopsis of this guy is a science teacher. He finds out he has cancer, he's going to die, and he has no money to give his wife to take care of the children when he passes away. So what does he do? He's a chemist. He goes, I can make a little drugs, sell a little bit of money real quick, and leave my wife well off, and I die. Well, it's the father's thing. You just really got to watch it. Good stuff.
It really. Then once it was over, I was very sad.
Yeah.
Because I wanted it to continue, so I started watching. What was he in before that? Malcolm in the Middle. So I started watching that just because I loved him so much.
He did play a great part.
So then I watched every episode of that.
Scotty Ray and Debbie, good morning. Put a smile on.
Are you looking for a trustworthy place to buy your next car or truck? Visit my friends at Massey Supermart Auto Sales. They've been doing business since 1955. There's a reason they've been in business for so long. They have fair prices, superior service, and repeat customers. For your next quality pre-owned vehicle, it's Massey Supermart Auto Sales. Taking care of Highway 39 North.
Profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
As we turn to talk about our friends at Snowden Company, remember, they can hook you up with any type home that you're looking for, whether it's small, big, large. They've got it all. You just name the size home. By appointment only on Saturday, and they're closed on Sunday, but they can take care of you there from Kemper, Lauderdale, all the way out to Dalewood. Beautiful homes. You tell them the size and number of bedrooms that you need, and they'll take care of you. Enterprise, Brandon, Flowood, lots of great places. And this is one that's been kind of newly listed here in the West Lauderdale area. If you need 3, 4, 5 bedrooms, they can find those as well. Any color, any style, let them know, and they'll call you as soon as it comes available in your neighborhood. A lot of folks use them. You see the signs. You see Amanda all over town. Great person. See her. Honesty. That's what gets them where they are. Here's their staff. You'll see them right there. Call them at 453-3937. They'll help you out with any questions about a home that you have. Get you into it in no time flat.
Yeah, a couple of people said the Facebook feed is not moving along or something.
You can always join us on YouTube also, or on television, whichever way you prefer there.
Yeah.
As we bring up, I have never watched the TV show, but a lot of people have watched that Sons of Anarchy and claim it is really good. I have not watched that yet.
I haven't watched that. I haven't watched Game of Thrones. I tried to watch one episode. People say you really got to get in there a few episodes in to really get into it.
I got to season 3 and something happened, and I haven't gone back.
Really?
So I need to go back and finish
the one I
that.
do want to watch is Yellowstone. I'm missing out on that.
That's a good show.
Yeah.
Another one that is a must. That, I mean, just go ahead and set aside some time. You will be enthralled by it. Longmire. It is a modern day. It was really played along to the Andy Griffith tune until Netflix. The last 3 seasons, they picked it up, and they put a few words in it they shouldn't have. But boy, Longmire, if you like Westerns, it is it. The views that are in that TV show are unreal.
Somebody said Tulsa King. I've seen that.
That looks good. I've watched 2 episodes. Rocky.
Oh, Sylvester. We're playing charades.
Well, that's the only way I could get it out. You knew what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You named it in one thing.
You know that story you pulled up yesterday about the slapping contest?
Yeah.
Do you know that one of those... So this is a TV show.
Where people do that?
Yes, and now, and they slap them as somebody was received like brain hemorrhaging from it.
And they talk about boxing being banned. What about this?
And so they're trying to get it banned, I think.
I think they should.
Yeah.
That is horrible.
It's like, what is the name of the show? Slap something. Extreme Slap.
You know, I remember that.
What in the world?
I remember that from high school, people, doing that to get initiated into this group or that group. You had to take that punishment.
Did you do that?
I didn't do that. I did get a blue belly one time.
What?
A blue belly.
What's that?
Where they hold you down and everybody on your stomach, and you get a blue belly from it.
I don't know about that.
I wouldn't have done it. I didn't have a choice.
What club were you joining? What were you going into?
I'm trying to remember what it was. Future Farmers, maybe, something like that.
That's what they did?
Yeah, come out of nowhere.
Woo! They banned it.
Doesn't happen anymore,
crazy.
But back in the day, that was something that you did.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Ripley, Mississippi joins us. Jan, how are you doing? You got a boyfriend nowadays. Go ahead, girl.
Somebody said Longmire.
Longmire.
Is that the one you were talking about?
Yeah. I'm telling you, top notch.
They said it's red belly, not blue belly.
Maybe so.
Did yours turn blue?
I think mine was blue. 18,000 people have lost their jobs with the push of a button. We're talking Amazon that said, hey, you're no longer needed. Bye. Can you imagine? That's so cold.
So were these cuts because after Christmas cuts, were they short-term people? Or
it really doesn't go into detail of why, but it could very well likely could be that.
That's...
It's still bad.
But they pay good.
They do.
Yeah.
We've got a distribution center being built in Mississippi. I think it's even operational now in Jackson. Amazon.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Get stuff quicker.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
The world's
because, like,
changing.
when I'm in, so like in Tennessee, you can, the warehouse is right there. And so you can get stuff that day, or, if you order something, it can come the next day. But you can do the 1 or 2 hour thing.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
A few years ago, I would say somewhere around 10, I was in a little town called Evansville, Indiana. I had done a job up there that was it's so close to Kentucky. They're like this. It's a bridge separates them. And the hotel we stayed at was in Evansville. And when they put out this message last night that a Walmart there had a shooter in it, it brought back memories of being there in a tornado that we stood there and watched in the doorway. It was woo.
At that Walmart?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And so we've had one person shot.
Well, the guy walked into the break room, shot his boss in the face. And then I think started shooting other people, but...
Gosh. That has turned out to...
At other people, let me say that. I think one person was injured, and that was the boss.
We hate that happened.
He was killed.
Why do people choose to do this? You and I talked about this off air yesterday of people that choose to take their own life. That's one thing. But when they take their children and others with them,
just go.
It ain't right.
Yeah.
Jess also said, and I've heard a lot of good things about that TV show, that it being just nothing but a family show. Heartland. That's it's in Canada. It's based in Canada on a farm. You had a grin. What are you referring to?
Somebody just said, I like these glasses better.
Go ahead, Debbie.
I mean, I like my other glasses too.
Okay.
Jan Bushman. Stop saying that.
We'll be right back. More on the way with Scotty Ray and Debbie.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes. And they even do work on motorcycles. With the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems, Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
And welcome back as we talk about Godwin Cleaning Services. They'll help you out no matter what your need is when it comes to, well, getting your stuff cleaned up. As we get into the new year, whether it's a building, a house, whatever you're looking for, your brick, your siding, get it cleaned up, no matter what that object is, to your roof. From getting that metal to your shingles, even to slate roofs, they can get those cleaned up. Put it back to the way it looked normal. A lot of times your paint, you don't have to worry about painting. It's clean again, your driveways. And as you go back to your back door steps,
it's amazing the difference it'll make if you have your house power washed. They can do a great job. It can take, especially after the winter months, and you have the kind of that mold and mildew and everything, which mine needs right now, is to just clean everything back up and make it look brand new and fresh.
You can slip. It can cause that. They'll take care of it from a billboard to a sign out back. Whatever the case is, Godwin Cleaning Services. You can call them at 601-253-8262 is the number to call, and they'll get you straightened right up and get you going again.
I can't believe it's already Friday, Scotty.
God flew, Debbie.
I want to say hey to my cousin, Judy Stem. She's watching from Middle Tennessee. She said this is the first time she's ever watched me.
Ooh.
They weren't around back in my radio days.
Oh, new to the family,
Yeah.
huh? You remember that?
Well, she's not new to the family. They just lived in Tennessee, so they didn't get to hear us.
All right.
Because we didn't have this technology.
It's changed a lot.
It's changed a
I used to
whole
have to see the cassettes up there to them.
Do you know I still have old cassettes of our radio show because
Van Mack
used to make us listen to ourselves afterwards and say, "Why did you say that? Why did you do that?" I'm like, I don't know.
Van Mack was, he said, she set
me?
you straight.
He did. It was awful to sit and it's just like when you have to listen to yourself talk on a voicemail.
But you got
I know I have a gravelly voice, always have had one.
But you got to admit, it does help you to learn what you do wrong.
No, it doesn't. I just can't do it. I just do it wrong, and if somebody tells me I do it wrong, then I try to adjust from that. But don't anybody tell me I'm doing it wrong, because I also don't take criticism.
I can tell. Scotty Ray and Debbie will be back Monday morning. Thank y'all so much for joining us and being part of the show. We'll see you soon.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.